All right, race fans, welcome. We're live here at Homestead Miami Speedway for Extreme Motorsports99.com Cup Series action. Last race of the season here. We're crowning a champion tonight. Championship race here, and it's going to be exciting as we got some drivers out here looking forward to running here at Homestead. We got some good weather as we're in the middle of qualifying. Got about 5 minutes left of it, and we call him the Superman, who is in control of pretty much his own destiny out here tonight as he's in the top spot of the points. And that's Jake Nichols sitting on top right now in qualifying. Well, we're looking at 78 degrees outside and 104 track temp. We got a 1.5 mile track out here, 4 feet of altitude on it, and looking good. Well, as always, I got 2 special guests up here in the booth with me tonight. Everybody knows who I am, Joe White. But first off, as always, got Davis Richards up here. Davis, how you doing?
Hey Joe, I'm doing great. Like you said, got a bunch of fast drivers tonight here at Homestead, Miami. We got a close points battle between Jake Nichols, Delonte Ballard, and Ariati. So don't turn that channel anywhere because it's definitely going to be a fun night of racing.
And absolutely, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting. It's like I say, championship. Well, the other guy I got up here, y'all probably see him on the Wednesday nights driving out there. Oh, Scott Mitten. Scott, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, I'm happy to be up here. Looking to close out the season on a high note here. We got some fast guys, and I think it's going to be a really good race. Yeah,
no doubt. Definitely going to be a really exciting one here. You know, I call these guys, these are the best of the best here at Extreme Motorsports99.com. And so we got the people filing in. What's going on, Becky, out there? How you doing? Abbas, how you doing out there? Just to name a few. I know we're out here because we're live tonight here on Twitch and YouTube, as always. And John Marine, Camden County, coming out here. Want to see the last race of the season. We've got about 3.5 minutes for everybody to file in, get the refreshments, get everything going. You know, tell everybody in the house, be quiet. Tell the dog, the cat, man, hush, and go outside. Tell the neighbor, man, calm down. It's race day, folks. And we're about to get set here to go racing. And, you know, it's going to be good because it's going to have a good, you know, normally you hear me and Davis up here just yapping up a cool breeze. But it'd be good to get a driver's perspective also. You know, Davis runs on Wednesday night. But, Scott, you ran this track last night. What do you think these drivers tonight are going to have to do to get around this place?
Well, watching practice, it looks like these Cup cars are a little bit more of a handful than the cars were last night. I know for me, super tight, kind of in the center of the corner, and then kind of had like a push loose situation off. Seems like these guys are kind of experiencing the same kind of thing, but maybe a little bit more pronounced in these Cup cars. So it's all about tire management as usual, keeping all 4 wheels and keeping the car going the right direction, and hopefully we'll see these guys put on a really great show tonight.
Yeah, and I'll agree with you there. You know, you're going from an Xfinity car to the Cup car. It's like almost a night and day kind of experience. I mean, you have definitely got to have a, you know, I call these more of a skill-based style car. More finesse you got to be with them because they got a lot more power to them. And these things can get right out from under them. Well, Davis, I know you ran last night. What were you feeling in the car, man, on this track?
Slow.
Oh, well, there you go. Quick and simple and to the point. You know, it was a good race, though, last night. Obviously, you know, we had 1 caution, which I ended the race pretty much. So the whole entire race was a long green flag affair.
Yeah, it really was. It was a very fun race. You know, I got a top 10 out of the night, so I can't complain too much. But the cars, man, they were really tight at the beginning of a run. And then once you would get those tires warmed up and you'd get on a long green flag run, they would get really loose on the exit of corners, especially on the exit of 2. And if you weren't careful, you were fishtailing it out of 2, and you were almost hitting that outside wall. And then on a 4, you had to keep her going pretty smooth there. You were going to go through the tri-oval grass and wind up in the wall.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, and I see a lot of guys, man, last night they were getting a little slick coming out of the turns there, you know, ever so often. And I think that's what we're going to see tonight. Again, this car here requires being very, very finessed on the throttle and very easy into the turns. Got a lot of power, and I always say we got some bad fast drivers and some bad fast cars. About to do some bad fast things here at Homestead, Miami. Last race of the season. We're crowning a champ here for Extreme Motorsports99.com Cup Series. It's going to be awesome. And what's going on, Becky? I tell you out there, and yeah, I can't wait to show off that car. It was kind of funny. Tyler sent me a message, and I don't know if you got a chance, Davis and Scott, to see what the car that Tyler's running, but when you get a chance, and hopefully Trade Paints is updated, you'll see that yeah, my mug's gonna be on the hood of it, and maybe I'll scare off everybody out there.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, maybe you can get a victory out of it, and hey, that'd be the first time you'd be in victory lane, wouldn't it, Joe?
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely, be in victory lane. So yeah, I mean, you know, you got to make it there somehow. Well,
there you go. We'll definitely be looking forward tonight.
Man, no doubt. Well, I tell you what, here we go. We're about getting set here to go green flag racing here tonight at Homestead, as these boys, men of Extreme Motorsports99.com, are about to grid these bad boys up here. I call them the monster machines, but on pole tonight, we call him the Superman. Well, fate's in his hands a lot here tonight, as he's got a huge lead coming in. Not huge, but he's got a good lead. So he doesn't want to make any mistakes and mess it up. And that's Jake Nichols sitting on pole, also looking to make history and break his 10 race in a season streak. If he wins tonight, he'll put it at 11 and make it an all-time winner here at Extreme Motorsports99.com in the Cup Series. Cameron Hearn, last night's champion. He's the champion of the Xfinity Series. Closed it out last night. He's going to start on the outside in second. Third place man, Tyler Ducharme, really has turned his season around since the last time in Richmond and has turned up the wick. Not in the chase, but he's looking to make himself in victory lane here tonight. Ariotti, call him the Hitman, starting in fourth. Well, he's a long way out. He's got an uphill battle, but he definitely got a shot for the title tonight. He just needs a little bit of help and the help of the form, and maybe Jake having some problems. Although it's going to still be an uphill battle. He's starting in fourth. Fifth place man, we call him Mr. Extreme himself. He finished it up, I think, in second place there in the points in the Xfinity Series. Mike Rominger. Bobby Cheney, calling him Mr. Consistency out there. Past champ here at Extreme Motorsports. And he started in sixth place there in the SRA camp. Another SRA guy, David Shutt, called him the Nightmare. He's going to be sitting seventh. Mason Weitzel, well, I tell you, just an up and down and chase start for him. He had it going for a little bit and just had problems. Still got a small margin. Maybe can get it done here tonight. Last night, just not the race he wanted in a chase for the Xfinity Series, but he's out here running, sitting in eighth place starting tonight. Ninth place, Bryce Senesac, and rounding out the top 10, we call him Mr. Popularity himself because, hey, everybody loves him because he's popular, and he's got a fan club out there. That's Tyler Sifford, and we look through the rest of this field. There's just no saying of the names out here. I mean, there's no words that I got, but just skill-based. And a lot of guys out here know how to get around this track.
Yeah, they really do. It's definitely going to be a fun one tonight. I just got to look at Tyler Sifford's car, and I couldn't help but crack up. That's some good stuff.
Like that, don't you? He did a good job. He actually came in. He said, man, check this out, Joe. You're going to get a kick out of this one. And I said, what you got? And like I said, we'll get close up on it here later on in the race for the folks out there. And it ought to be pretty cool. So, like doing tributes. I appreciate the drivers, man, doing stuff like that. You know, I don't ever ask a man to do any of that stuff. It's on their own, so definitely is cool. Got some other good paint jobs out here. Tyler Ducharme's out there running the Somewhere Saloon, and that's Kimmo and those guys, man, are from the Somewhere Saloon. So definitely been awesome there. The SRA guys got the Ariotti. Obviously, SimSpeedShop.com's out there on Jake Nichols. His pace car's coming around to turn 4. Going to jump off on the pit road. We're in the green flag racing for the final time here this season as these boys of Extreme take off in these bad, fast monster machines as Jake gets to jump out front, heading into turn 1. Well, right behind him, though, Tyler Ducharme, he ducks up underneath Cameron Hearn. They're going to go duking it out side by side, door to door, coming out of 2.
And as Tyler Ducharme gets underneath the 67 of Cameron Hearn, he's going to be able to clear him going down the backstretch. Now, Cameron Hearn's going to have to deal with the number 77 of Ariotti as they're heading into the middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, they are. Right now, these guys will be stacked up 2 by 2 because early on they got good tires, good cars, but we're going to see them fan out single file like they are for the top set back there. You got to go all the way back to about where Bryce Senesac and Tyler Sifford is before you find any side-by-side dueling going on. But it's just what we saw last night. It's a product of this track and a product of this car. It's just one of those things out there, and it's kind of neat to see what these guys will do. Points, though, something we'll be talking about pretty much the entire race, is that man out front right now, Jake Nichols, understands all he's got to do pretty much is just stay in the top 5, and he pretty much clinches another title here, would be number 3. I don't want to give it to him. I don't want to give it to any of them because, hey, we've got 15 cars out here, and guys, I tell you, if he was to wreck, hit the wall, there are no fast fixes, tear that machine up. And then, like Ariotti or Bobby Cheney, which are only about 10 points back, well, guess what? They could jump up there and take this title tonight.
They really could. And you got to stay tuned for this entire race because anything can happen. And we've seen it happen in this chase. We've seen Jake Nichols run out of fuel. We've seen him speed down pit road. He actually sped down pit road last season at Homestead. So anything can happen right now, but right now, as the drivers, they're all single filed throughout the field. They're going to play it safe, feel how the track's gonna go, feel where the groove's at, feel how their cars are going to control as they get more wear under their tires. So it'll be interesting to see the different strategies that these drivers play. Because last week we seen the 77 Ariotti. He was real easy at the beginning of the race, and then that's when his car really kicked in and kicked into gear, and he was able to make up speed on those longer runs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sorry about that, folks, man. I still had the intro music going on. I had to turn everything off. I was getting so caught up in the grid now going on. But right now, though, the battle's actually for second place, Cameron Hearn. So these guys are doing a little bit more battling than they did last night. Maybe they learned something on these cars. Again, I think that high line's going to play a factor here later on as this car will run, tire wear will come into play. They were able to go. Most of the guys I saw last night, about 38, almost 40 laps on a stint.
Yeah, you could go about anywhere from 40 to 45, 46 laps on a stint of fuel in the Xfinity Series. And I think we'll see about the same thing here, maybe a little more. But, yeah, you were mentioning Cameron Hearn, that 67, passing the 25 of Tyler Ducharme. If Cameron Hearn, I think he understands, if he has any shot of winning this race, he's got to get up there, and he's got to pass Jake as quick as possible because every single lap that Jake leads, he's getting closer and closer to leading the most laps. When you lead the most laps, that's one more point added on to your total. So, hey, every single lap counts, and every single lap matters here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Scott, I tell you what are you seeing out there? Anything that you would do different in one of these bad, fast hot rods?
Well, I'm just keeping an eye on the 21 car, Delonte. He was started the furthest back of our championship contenders here, and he's already moved up 4 places. Just past the 9 car. He's currently running an 8th, so he's making his way toward the front.
Yeah, no doubt right there. You're right. He did. He started up there trying to make his way back up. Now, he's one of the guys here that is very close in the points. It's about 10 points back there coming in here. So he's definitely got a shot. Obviously, he's going to have to get further up than where he is, but he's definitely got a shot. And if Jake has issues, Ariotti's the other one there. And then we talked about Mason White, so he's got a small margin there that can be done also. A lot of these guys definitely just going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But he's got that Slam Twitch machine out there from Alan J. Elwood's Elwood Design. Made that car for him. So definitely, if you like some good drumming and all, check the man out. Check him out. It's called Slam. He's over there on Twitch, and he definitely, man, can do some drumming. I enjoy, man, watching him every once in a while. So he's looking good out there. And yes, we'll go back here to Tyler Sifford for a second, and let's see, folks. There you go. Tyler Sifford sent me a picture, and he sent me on this car, and there it is. It is Yo Joe, thank you. And it's got old Deadpool up there, and yes, folks, that is me on the hood. That is what I look like, so now y'all know what I look like behind the mic. Although I do have a webcam on, and I've had some videos out there showing myself, but there you go. You got a picture of the guy that you hear week in and week out.
And that's always awesome to see. And what I'm noticing here is that 25 of Tyler DeSharm in that Somewhere Saloon Chevrolet. He's using the high line in 1 and 2, and he's the only driver that I've noticed do that. So maybe he knows something. Maybe he's saving his tires, but definitely something to keep an eye on as the night goes forward, because there were some drivers in the Xfinity Series last night that elected to use that high line, but it was maybe 1 or 2, and it was definitely late in the race, not this early when the rubber isn't all the way down on the track, as it will be late in this race.
Yeah, well, and you're right there. You talked about it because I'm used to this track being, a high line coming into play, and it's something that definitely needs to. We got a car smoking. I don't even know who that is on the apron. Maybe you can get a shot and see who that was. They were coming in and smoking, but you're right. I think the high line here with this car in particular, with so much power in this car and this thing being so slick, that high line probably is a better bet than being down low, because we see these cars. I see a few other drivers, slowly creeping up higher on the track. So it might be something that, we're going to watch here. I do see a bunch of them trying to stay low. Nobody's down there on that white line. Everybody's at least a lane up. But, he is taking a very, 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 very high line.
And you were talking about that car smoking, and that's the 82 of Mike Franklin. He was battling the number 13 of Matt Hoover in that Birdie's Construction Chevrolet, and they were coming off the corner, and it looked like the 13 of Matt Hoover just got loose off of the corner, and when he did, he came down and hit Mike Franklin, and it just sent the number 82 machine right in that inside wall on the backstretch.
Yeah, I hate to see that, man. Not a night that Mike Franklin wants. He's down on pit road, 2 laps down, trying to get some damage done on that, repairs done on that car, the 82. So, but that's just how quick things can happen here. I mean, you just never know. Guys out here running it. Again, this is a handful. I mean, this car is definitely not for the faint of heart, so to speak. It's one of those deals like, we got a lot of chat going on out there. They're talking about, the Deadpool and the Joe White. Yeah. Well, I like Deadpool. He's cool. I like the movies, man, and kind of like his character and whatnot. My youngest one, he enjoys him. So that's it. Yeah, Deadpool's got cool one-liners. I guess that would go along with the Joe-isms that I like throwing out there every once in a while. But hey, why not? You gotta have fun, man. And also got Bryce Sinesak out there, who is running the Blimpy Cam car, and that's right. Everybody knows the Blimpy Cam. Davis, you like the Blimpy Cam, right?
Oh yeah, you gotta love the Blimpy Cam. And I was looking on Facebook, and John Marine, he actually made a Blimpy Cam scheme as well. I think it was a Ford Mustang. Yep. So the Blimpy Cam's picking up some traction and getting some fame.
I know it, man. I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna have to get a hold of Blimpy and tell him to throw some subs, and maybe we call it the Blimpy sub cam or something. Yeah. I mean, hey, we might get hungry up in the booth every once in a while. So. Hey, definitely, man. I like it. I've always said it's just a happy word to say. It's a good one. But Cameron Hearn, just can't talk about this guy enough up here. And obviously, Jake Nichols gets a lot of talk because of the way he runs and whatnot. But Cameron Hearn this season has turned it around. He was the Xfinity. He locked up the Xfinity Series championship last night in fine fashion, finished now second. But tonight he's been all over this season in the Cup car. Been all over the back deck lid. And just all over Jake Nichols when it comes to the Cup ride. And right there again, he's right in the tire tracks of Jake. It's going to be interesting to see if he can pull the victory off here tonight. Again, Jake's going to have a lot of trouble for a lot of the other Chase drivers to get up there. But still, how much battling does Jake want to do? As we see him coming out of turn, it looks like he's fighting that machine a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does, and you might try to see him change his lines up, but it definitely looks like he's fighting that machine quite a bit. And something I'm noticing right here is we've got the 77 of Ariati, 25 of Tyler DeSharm, and 24 of Bobby Chaney. Now all 3 of those are using that high line in 1 and 2. First we seen it was just the 25, but now we're seeing all 3 of them. So I don't really run the Cup car that much, so maybe Scott, you could tell us how more of these Cup cars handle and the different strategy that you've used in these cars.
Well, I don't run the Cup cars too often, so I don't really have much on the Cup car. I know with the Xfinity car last night, running the top side just did absolutely nothing for me. I was right along the about a lane up from the white line. That was the quickest round for me, but these guys, with the way this car looks to be pretty loose tonight, up off the corner, it could just be, you know, a better feel for these guys wanting to run that high line.
That's a good assessment on there. You're right, and I got a feeling it's a product of this car is the reason why they're having to go more to the high line as opposed to the Xfinity car. You know, a little less power, more of a car that you can maybe, what's the word I'm looking for, maybe manhandle and drive a little bit harder, and you're able to maybe keep it down a little bit lower. As this car, you kind of let it drift into the turns, and you got to be, well, I go back to being more finessed. And we see, you know, right there, David Shutt, boy, he is way up high. But again, you get that momentum coming off the turns. Even if you wanted to stay down low and the guy gets up underneath you, you know, you got to play up high. And I see that, Becky. We have not talked about the milk and cookies. It's been a long time since we mentioned that. You know, it's the whole thing been running. I don't know, Davis, if I've ever mentioned it, but it used to be that Becky would be like, if Tyler Sifford ever won in one of the races here, we all get milk and cookies. And, you know, Tyler's actually down here in Mooresville, North Carolina, so he's not too far from where I'm at. So I could get the cookies from him.
There you go. Get some milk and cookies. If that'll have me rooting for Tyler because who doesn't love milk and cookies like the Blippy Cam, right?
That's what I'm talking about. No doubt about it. You know, it's a good race right now. It's actually falling into place pretty much like it is. Now, these guys right now, what I'm seeing, though, they're able to close in and battle a little bit on this car. Again, probably due to the fact of this thing's probably going to get a little more looser. You know, tires are probably going to play a lot more of a factor here. So you're going to be able to close in on a guy and make that. But, you know, we were talking about that high side, and we're talking about points out here. Points. You know, this is the championship race. And Jake Nichols right now, you know, he's out front. He's doing everything he has to do and basically lead, win. But he is 10 points ahead. I believe it's 10 points ahead. I know Davis, he could probably double check it. But 10 points ahead there with Delonte Ballard. And I believe 10 points ahead of Ariotti, if I'm not mistaken, coming into this race. And, you know, a lot of people are, well, that's only 10 points. Well, here's the thing. We talked about it last night. Homestead, Miami, has been the backyard of Jake Nichols. It's really been one of these tracks that he has come in and excelled at. He loves this place. He runs very good here. He's pretty much got a lock in it. You can almost just say it's kind of his home here when it comes to Homestead. So what I'm trying to say is, coming into this race, if you have to have him have a bad race, which I'm not saying can't happen, because it can happen, it's really a daunting task to know that you're asking him to have a bad race at a track that he's pretty much dominated in the past.
Yeah, he really has. He really has dominated this race. But hey, like I was saying earlier, last season he sped down pit road, and it cost him quite a bit of time as well. But yeah, he's about 9 points ahead of Ariotti. 9 points ahead of Delonte Ballard and 10 points ahead of Ariotti, but those points aren't official. Right. So we'll keep y'all updated as the race goes on, and we'll try to do some redneck math in here to figure out where they stand as they run.
Well, we'll get our redneck calculators out, man, try to do stuff like that. Oh, it looks like the 25 Tyler Deschamps popped that outside wall, which is what we saw last night. A lot of guys doing. That right side just getting pancaked, you know, getting up there, man, touching the wall. That push loose style feeling, that's something you just don't want to see in a race car, is going in kind of feeling loose, then getting pushed, and that thing just going straight up the track on you. It's not a feeling you want, but you know, you talk about the points, and we talk about it, and it's just something we'll keep in mind. And yeah, Tyler Deschamps, he's having his hands full. He came out of turn almost sideways there. Looks like, man, he's been having too much at the saloon there, too much to drink.
Oh yeah, he's that right front quarter panel on that Somewhere Saloon Chevrolet is pretty crinkled up. But I was watching him back on that front stretch. He was battling that thing the entire straightaway, so he's definitely got his hands full. And that's something you got to be careful when you're running that high side. I like running the high side. It's really fun to drive, but I'm always scared I'm going to hit the wall, so I try to keep about half a lane right below it. So, you know, you can see right there with that 25, running that for so long, it's just a matter of time until it pops out, because one wrong move, you're getting sent in the wall, and you're going to get damage.
Yep. Well, Scott, I'll tell you, man, you know, what you think about this race so far? What you think about the point situation so far?
Well, the points, I mean, Jake's got a pretty healthy lead, but like you guys said, I mean, anything can happen. It's going to be interesting to see if Delonte can get a few more spots up there and try to keep his second place in points, because he's right now in jeopardy of losing that, running back there in the 8th position. But sitting up here in the booth, it's, you know, you get a different perspective on these cars and how much these guys are really having to manhandle them off the corners. The 25 car off of 2 and off of 4 every single lap, it's crazy to watch. It's pretty interesting.
Well, you know, and it's good that you said that too, because I love getting drivers up here, and I know Davis, you know, he's been up here in the booth several, you know, for a while now. I love getting drivers up here just because of what you said right there. A lot of times after races, you know, drivers will be like, "Well, Joe, what do you think about the race?" "That was a good race. It was great." "Joe, you're crazy. What is wrong with you? You know, that race was terrible." "What do you mean?" Like you said, it's a different perspective up here in the booth as opposed to what y'all see are dealing with down there. Man, I'm going to tell you what, the 13, Matt Hoover, is all kind of tore up on the back stretch, and he just turned that car into a modified. But I like what you said there, because you're right 100%. It gives you a whole new perspective of what we see up here. It's very exciting, and yeah, Tyler Ducharme's just having his hands full in that 25 as Bobby Chaney right now goes on the inside, heading to the turn, maybe going to try to take that, and well, he drove it in there, and he's going to drift that thing through the whole entire turn. Wow.
Yeah, and speaking of the 13 of Matt Hoover, Cameron Hearn, he was in second place, about half a second behind Jake Nichols. He's now almost 4 seconds on lap 27, coming out of 4. He got loose, and it sent him around, but luckily he was able to keep it off of that inside wall, so he didn't get any damage, but it definitely cost him a lot of time, as these drivers have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's just terrible, and it's not so much, it's just conditions, it's just a car, it's just a track, it's just what it is. It's a whole different ball game to step in one of these cars, and you're seeing it. I mean, we got some of the best drivers out here, and they are having their hands full. Like I say, we're talking about the 25. We're watching him because, man, he is really out there wrestling that thing, and he's going to be tired after this race, or lap 31 here, 109. We're getting to that point, though, to get into a green flag pit stops. But, man, he takes that thing way up the track, and it's just trying to hang on to it. It's just, I mean, that car's just evil right now.
Yeah, and all these cars are evil. We didn't see this in the Xfinity Series last night. If these cars are just all over the place, and I'll be really surprised if we go the duration of this race without having a caution with as wicked loose as these cars are.
Well, I'm going to say right now, we're watching this 25, and he's coming on pit road. I think he's had enough, because the last several laps, he has fought that machine almost stepping out from under him, and he's finally coming out on pit road. I just think it's had enough. That guy, yeah, you're right, John. It looked like he was on a bull out there. That thing was just, bucking all around, and just couldn't hold on to it no more. I was just going to say, if he stayed out there much longer, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing didn't, come on around on him. But luckily, he's coming on pit road, getting 4 fresh tires, maybe get a little bit of optional damage. We got some other guys. Ariotti loses it on the entry of pit road, and David Shutt had to go in the grass to miss him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm watching it right now as we're talking about it, and he just loses it, gets a little loose, and David Shutt, the number 1, has to go in the grass to avoid him, and it's going to be interesting to see here. Is David Shutt he is going to go down pit road, so I'll be surprised if it doesn't black flag him, and he doesn't have to come around again to serve a penalty.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe you can keep us a heads up out there. And, if you or Scott One hears what's going on the radio there. Maybe if he does get a black flag on that, or see on the chat or whatnot, we'll see if he did a penalty, because he had to avoid him coming in. Ariotti came in and almost looped the car, and David Shutt, when he did get off pit road, so we'll see if he has to come back around. Hopefully he doesn't get any penalty like you said on that. But, I mean, he had to avoid him. He had to go right into the grass, or he would have went right into the back end of Ariotti, who, area, just kind of looped. But then again, it goes to show you just how unstable these cars are right now. And I guess that's going to be kind of a theme here all night long. Now, that takes us to our leader. And I was about to say, he's usually the last one to pit. And he is right here as he's coming down pit road very slowly. Got to guarantee you he's going to take 4 tires. That's going to leave Mason Weitzel, Mike Rominger, Bryce Senesac, Tyler Sifford, and James Thorndike still out there. And I'm going to just be surprised, like what you said, Davis. If this thing goes green like it did last night, and so far, knock on wood, we've had a pretty good green flag run with these cars. But, man, I tell you, that's just got to be a testament of the driving skill. I've said it before. And, a lot of people have heard me say, like on the plate tracks, no skill track. Well, right here proves what I'm saying when I talk about skill. Being able to handle these cars like they are on a track like this, there's where the skill comes in. And that's exactly what I mean. It's kind of one of these textbook style races.
Yeah, and I love a loose race car too, so this would play right into my favor. But you're right, it's going to take a lot of skills for these drivers to keep it on the track. And the 82 of Mike Franklin, he's decided to take that car behind the wall. I think his night's done. And then Matt Hoover's still on pit road. So while we haven't had any cautions, we do have 2 cars with quite a bit of damage that are going to be multiple laps down.
Yeah, we've got a couple of them, like you said, it's Mike Franklin, Richie Evans. Matt Hoover, unfortunately, out there, a lot of damage on his machine and whatnot. A couple of them got a few little wrinkled fenders, and see, got Joshua out there, Joshua Medlock. What's going on, Joshua? How you doing? And, you're right, just to name a few, SRA, Sim Racing Authority out here. And these guys came in with authority. They brought in Ariotti from outside coming in here to try to dethrone the man, Jake Nichols, who was looking to make history tonight. And again, I've been told, well, Joe, you talk about him. Well, hey, the guy wins, and he wins week in and week out. And it's very hard. He's almost like the Jimmy Johnson here of Extreme, and he does wonders. He's won 2 titles in the Cup Series. Tried to make one in the Xfinity Series, came up short on that end. But as far as wins goes, he's the all-time winner in the Cup Series here. He's got the all-time win list in a season here in the Cup Series, and he's looking tonight to break that. He's won 10 races. I mean, Davis, that's just unheard of in a 15-race season, 10 races to win. But he's looking to break that with 11 if he puts it in victory lane tonight and cash in on a 3rd title tonight. So you just got to say wow to the whole thing. And when we call him Superman, hey, it's fitting of a nickname for him because he comes out and performs.
Yeah, the guy knows what he's doing, and you won't meet a nicer guy, and he definitely knows how to get up on that wheel and race these things. But the 99 of Mason Wetzel, he was the leader, but he's going down pit road right now on lap 41. And what this is telling me is these drivers, they're going in for tires before they go in for fuel. These cars, I think, could go probably another 6, maybe 7 laps on fuel, but these tires are so bad that they're having to pit earlier than that. So I think we're probably going to see about at least 4 pit stops tonight.
Yep, no doubt. And you're right there, Joshua. Absolutely. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And people try to step up. But, they brought in Ariotti. I call him the hit man. And his regular season wasn't the best. Now, his chase has been pretty good. But then again, Davis, I'm going to tell you, this chase here has just been a wild one. And when I say wild, because even it hasn't been easy for Jake. Jake at one point in his chase was back in like 7th place, 8th place in points. He was in a hole, and he had to dig himself out, and he did it by just basically winning the last couple races and so forth. But, guys like Ari, Delonte, Mason Weitzel and all, some of the very heavy hitter guys here have had trouble throughout the entire chase, and it's just been it's been a wacky chase, so to speak, even for the Xfinity and here.
Yeah, it really has, and I just take you back to Chicagoland with Ariotti. He had probably, about a 10, 11-point lead over second place in the points, and I was pretty confident that he was going to be able to come out of here and win the title. But he got that penalty at Chicagoland, and hey, it cost him. And look at it right now. He's, what is he? Let me take a look over here. He's 10 points out from the lead. So that one mistake, or that one incident, that one EOL, cost him a championship.
Well, you take it back about 2 seasons ago. We talk about Bobby Chaney out here. We call him Mr. Consistency. Well, coming in that season, he did what he had to do. Going into the chase, he won 1 race in the chase, but yet he was so consistent, and Jake had 1 bad race. Well, that ended up in a 1-point affair right there, and Bobby Chaney won the title. So you can just see how 1 race in this chase can affect it. But it's been a couple races in this one, and even the Xfinity Series has been a couple. So it's been just a wild chase. And I know, Scott, that you didn't make chase in the Xfinity Series, but take us back maybe how your season was this past season in the Xfinity Series.
We had a good season. We did make the chase, which was really cool. We finished, I think, 7th.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
That's okay. I like to be under the radar. Most people probably don't even know I'm in the races, but that's okay.
They know because I show you.
I like to sneak in there, kind of do my thing. But I mean, it was a fun race, fun season. It's definitely crazy for a lot of the guys. I'm just watching the 25. I think he finally lost it.
Uh-oh.
He did lose it. He's on the inside wall on the front stretch in the grass right now, and I'll be surprised if this doesn't bring out a caution. And nope, he's going to take it behind the wall, and he said, I've had enough, and that's very sad because he had a really, really fast car. But what I'm seeing is these cars, when they are wrecking, they're going to the inside of the track, and it's not bringing out a caution.
Yeah, let's go back here on the replay. Let us see. He just came out of the turn. It looped out of turn 4, tried to hang on to it, slams the inside wall, got down there, stayed on the grass. If it would have came back up, I think, on the track further, iRacing probably would have thrown a caution, and he just did a very smart, quick thing. Went ahead and hit a toe on it right there, and that's what put it back to where it was. But unfortunate, man, with the Somewhere Saloon machine right there, which is one of the title sponsors for the SRA over in there. I believe it's their truck series, if I'm not mistaken. I know Joshua Medlock out there probably can do it and whatnot. But hey, we got Jason Sim Speed Shop out there, and I tell you what, it's we were talking about Jake. I want to talk about simspeedshop.com coming on board here for the 2018 season over here at OSR Network. Guys, I'm going to tell you what, if you're looking for a custom button box, or if you're just looking for a button box in general, check the guys out at simspeedshop.com. I mean, they'll make you one up, get your custom one going if that's what you like. But hey, it's always, check them out on Facebook, Sim Speed Shop. Check them out on Twitter. I call it Tweeters, it's actually Twitter, but check them out at Sim Speed Shop. Hashtag get a box. Hey, get rid of the mouse, man. Get your box out there. And definitely, man, it's going to be awesome. If you want something for your sim racing needs, I mean, check those guys out at simspeedshop.com. Jason Eisenhower, Adam Eisenhower, good guys. They run over the K&N series here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. They got a few cars out there, definitely, and most notably Jake Nichols. He's on the hood of it there. Got several other series. They're actually sponsoring another league that I'll be broadcasting. So very nice things that those guys are doing. They're establishing a lot, trying to grow their name and get it out there. Got a lot of competition when it comes to button boxes and sim racing stuff. We were talking about it last night, Davis. At sponsors and sim racing. It is a growing sport. iRacing, is very, very huge, and to me is one of the most realistic things out there. Unless you want to spend millions of dollars and step into one of these real cars, it's about as real as we're going to get to realism. And with that said, a lot of great sponsors, and most notably Rick Motec here at Extreme on the roadside, stepping up, being the title sponsor for that, and definitely does awesome things there.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I'm not going to say the name of the sponsor because I don't know if it's official yet, but I heard through the grapevine that a very, very big Fortune 500 company that everyone knows of is actually going to sponsor a truck in the new iRacing Road to Pro series.
Ah, okay, good deal. Yeah, they'll probably hear that on Twitter or something like that, and they'll get there. I know NASCAR's talking about a lot of good things, and it's just interesting. And You know, and we're talking about sponsors. Scott, you know, you say you don't get recognized, but I do know you run Ferocity Motorsports on the, or Performance on your hood of your car. Tell us something about that.
Well, that's just my race team. I've been racing around for almost 20 years now, since the original NASCAR racing sim. So I've had my team, my Ferocity Motorsports team, and don't have any real sponsors or anything, but like to put that on there and, you know, just kind of race and promote myself a little bit and just have some fun with it. Next season, whenever we get started back here, I'm going to have a different sponsor. I'm going to have a little bit different look. You might not recognize me, but I think it'll be a fun sponsor to have.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's awesome, man. Like I say, I see it out there. Nice paint job on your car that you got. Running that 50 machine around there. And you're right, John. I always said there's no way in the world that I'm getting into one of these stock cars out there in real life or whatever unless they come up with a convertible. So you can count me out. Or they knock the front windshield out of that thing. But they come up with a convertible, sure, I'll be able to set my tail in there. But other than that, I ain't fitting through that little windshield.
Hey, Jimmy Spencer got in one, so hey, we can get you in there.
I'm a little bit bigger than Jimmy Spencer, man.
No, but hey, we can get you an open wheel.
Well, if it's big enough, probably. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, man, I ain't a small guy. I mean, come on now. Which, I never want to be a small guy. I even tell my doctor, when they talk about that stuff, I said, look, ain't a happening. So, but I just know, man, it's those guys, man, getting in and out of those cars, my hat's off to them.
Yeah, me and Joe, we were going back and forth at it last night, and he was saying he was going to sit on me, and we were having a little fun out there last night after the Xfinity Series race.
If y'all have ever seen a picture of Davis, well, obviously seen a picture of me, but if you've ever seen a picture of Davis, he's a tall, skinny guy, you know. So he was talking about it last night. So it was fun. I was telling him about his experience as a small guy. But like I say, I'm a big guy myself. Hey, I don't mind, love it. But you talk about these race cars now. Yeah, I ain't gonna try to Dukes of Hazzard and jump through no windshield.
Well, I used to be bigger, but then, you know, lost a little bit of weight. But, hey, it is what it is, babe. But I can tell you right now that Jake Nichols is in the lead, and then David Schutt's right behind him by 6.7 seconds. Then you got Ariotti sitting in third at 8 seconds. And there's actually a battle between Ariotti and Bobby Cheney. Is their nose to tail right now going through 3 and 4.
Yeah, Bobby Cheney right now trying to show some waves here as he's on the back end of Ariotti. So you got David Schutt, Ariotti, Bobby Cheney, Delonte Ballard, you know, Team SRA, Jake Nichols out front. He's got his team, Jake Nichols, racing there. Then they got an alliance going on between those two, and a very good one there. So a good group of guys. Mason Weitzel's moved it up there in his WFO machine, and he's in the 6th place spot. Bryce Senesac right behind him. You got the Blippy Cam car going on, and Mike Rominger. Now, just can't, you know, Mike's one of those guys that you just talked about it a minute ago, Scott. You kind of fly under the radar. Well, this is another one. He is a past champion here. I give him the nickname of Mr. Extreme because he's one of the originals here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Very cool, calm, collective style guy. Very, very nice. You get a chance to talk to him. Doesn't really say a lot. And just really, really down to earth. And even when last night we talked to him, just really humbled, down to earth. Sure wanted to win. Was happy that Cameron took the title home. And, you know, just enjoy talking to Mike. But he's got that Napa know-how machine. And he knows how to drive one of these cars and put it around the track.
Yeah, he definitely does. And he's picked up a lot of speed here in the recent weeks. We've been seeing him more and more in the top 5. Hey, even in the top 3 right now, he's battling that 09 of Bryce Senesac.
Yep, no doubt about it. Definitely trying to do everything he can to battle Bryce Senesac. Trying to get around him there. But again, these cars are so loose. Got to be very, very careful and be very, very mindful that you don't step up underneath one and then lose that thing going around here. So you got to be careful. I mean, it looks like he's maybe a tad bit faster, but just can't get that run that he needs coming off the turn. And that's where I think the high line here is going to play dividends for guys later on in the run as you see them kind of climbing up to the middle of the track. And I think that's probably the sweet spot here on this track right now.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm really surprised that we've gone 60 laps without a caution. But yeah, they're still battling. You can see him using that middle lane as they're coming up and out of 2 right now, and he's going to tuck in right behind him. See if he can kind of get a run, set him up for that pass in 3 and 4.
No doubt. He just can't quite get the bike coming off the turn. Well, Scott, what do you think he needs to do to get around him? I mean, do you think he needs to take a different line or something?
Well, I was actually looking at the 67. He's on pit road. Must have some sort of issue. He's 4 laps down now. I'll just look at that.
Oh, my Cameron Hearn? Yeah, I just noticed that. He's about 6 laps down. Don't know why. Did he get damage? That car looks clean.
Yeah, it looks like he just went onto pit road and just parked it there.
Yeah, he's going on to pit road at lap 56. He doesn't have any damage on the car or anything. Just took it on pit road, and he's still sitting there. So not really sure what happened.
Yeah, I mean, he's not blinking, and I know one of y'all actually could probably see if his ping's fine, you know. But yeah, he's just sitting on pit road. That's hopefully. Now, I mean, it's speculation because I have no clue. It's admin's discretion. Hopefully he didn't come over I know one of the rules here is don't come over the chat and say anything, airwaves and say anything. Obviously, you know, I can't hear that. Y'all probably could if you got the volume on, but hopefully he didn't that and get no penalty or whatnot. But it is strange that he's sitting on pit road, 8 laps down, no damage on that car, and just sitting there. Maybe he got tired.
I'm not really sure what happened. Might have to go down there and check and see. But not really sure what happened. I didn't see him come over the headset or anything. So we're going to have to do a little bit of research on that one and get back to it. And as we see right now, I'm looking right now, the 13 of Matt Hoover, he's decided to take his car behind the wall.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. And there he finally just gets it. But yeah, I mean, Davis? Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to jump down there and pit road and find out, because I just see Cameron Hearn just, from what I'm seeing on my thing, he has left out and took it behind the wall now.
Yeah, if we get a caution here, I'll go down and do some pit road report and see what I can find. I don't really want to bother the drivers now during this green flag run because we're seeing it right now. These drivers have their hands full.
Yes, they do. Definitely, man, guys, right now. And, well, actually, yeah, never mind, because Cameron Hearn is out of the team speak here. So, not sure, man, what happened. Our champ in the Xfinity Series, not the night, man, he was looking for. Had a fast car. So, definitely, man, hate to see that on his end. Well, it's going to put us up here. Jake's out front. David Schutt's there in second. Ariotti sitting in third. And we've got a battle going on here between these 3 machines. As David, man, whoa, look at the high line he is using. But he gets that run coming off the turn.
He does right now as they're 3 nose to tail right now. You see that 77 right ahead of that 24 Bobby Chaney, and look at that momentum he gets in the middle of the corner. He's going to see if he's going to be able to execute it coming off the exit on the straightaway. See that one taking the low exit. See him just wiggling that car around on the back stretch. He has his hands full for sure. As you see Bobby Chaney in that 24 machine, he's going to look low. Below the 77 of Ariotti in 3 or 4, not going to be able to get there. Now the 77 of Ariotti is getting right behind that one of David Schutt. See if he can get below him and make the pass in 1 and 2.
Yeah, it looks like Bobby Cheney lost a little ground right there. Ariotti's looking on the inside, going to try to see if he can't dive down and hold it down low. Maybe see if he can't get a run here as they go side by side, but he's going to come off that turn. Not have the bite there. As that outside lane looks like it's going to have the momentum, and he's got to fall back behind them as they head off into 3.
Yeah, and I'm looking right now, the one of David Schutt, the 70 and the 77 in Ariotti, they both have damage on that right side, so they've definitely been flirting with that wall. But you see the 77 coming on the exit. Looks like he's got a bit better run than the one of David Schutt coming out there. Just can't quite get right beside him. Takes it a little lower in 1 and 2 than we've seen before. But hey, now we've got the 21 of Delonte Ballard right behind him, and I do believe he's got fresher tires, so he's going to take him 3 wide coming off the exit of 2.
Yeah, he says, man, fellas, I'm coming through. Meek got the way. He's got a lot fresher tires, and he's probably going to be able to hold it down there with those guys. Whoa, well, he went into 3 there, though. He had to just check up ever so slightly, but he was able to clear him, and they're still battling behind him. Ariotti on the inside, David Shutt up high. I don't want to say, like I say, that high line's going to be able to hold its own here as long as they are. Bobby Cheney's behind these two going, well, if y'all two decide, man, to run into each other, I'll just run right on by you.
I think he is too, as all 4 of these drivers are SRA teammates. But I think that the 21 of Delonte Ballard making him through wide was the break that 77 Ariotti needed to pass the 1 of David Shutt. As we say that, the 77's coming down pit road and using that access road in 3 and 4.
Yep, pit stops again here going to be completed under his as everybody's running. It looks like about 35, 37, 38 laps is the norm here for these guys coming on pit road as I'm watching the last time stints out there. So what you were talking about earlier, close to about 40 laps total as we got 69 to go here at Homestead Miami Speedway here tonight. ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series, final race of the season. We're crowning a champ here tonight. Been a good one so far. It's been an all-green flag affair here right now, but a couple cars definitely having some hiccups, hitting the wall earlier on and so forth. But I tell you what, I'm going to step away, take a quick commercial break. Folks, don't go anywhere. Man, hey, get you relaxed, get everything you need, and we'll be right back. All right, race fans, welcome back. We're live here, Homestead, Miami, and it's been a very good race here so far. I mean, I got to admit, me and Davis here talking about points, and we're just up here trying to calculate a lot of different scenarios that would have to happen. And, I don't ever sit up here and want to give a race to anybody, as of right now, with 11 cars out there and the points differences and whatnot. And then you got to throw in all the bonus points. You got to throw in all the, the penalty points. You got to makes my head hurt thinking about it. And, I'm trying to explain to Davis that, that's the admin's job. We'll let them deal with that and tell us who wins this championship afterwards and whoever finishes in second.
Well, either way, it's gonna be a close battle right now. As we've got Delonte Ballard sitting in second place, just 7 seconds behind Jake Nichols. So either way, it's going to come down to the wire. Anything can happen this track, especially with these loose race cars. So while we're under break, we've seen those drivers do some green flag pit stops in the 73 of Jake Nichols. I was watching him. He had to get that thing slowed down in a hurry and almost spun her out. So that just goes to prove you anything can happen here tonight. And
it can, and you're right. When we talked about it several times, anything can happen. Anything can just, jump out here. We're getting into the closing laps here. We've got 56 laps. And, I got to ask, though, coming from a driver standpoint, Scott, how do you feel coming into these races and knowing closeness in the championship and stuff? I mean, what's your mindset coming into something like this?
Well, it's definitely on your mind. I know the 10 races to make the chase in the Xfinity Series, that's all I was thinking about. That's all I could keep thinking about when I was in the race car, just doing what I could to make sure I made the chase. And these guys have a lot more on the line than that. They're racing for championships. So, I mean, that's what you're here to do, to win and win championships. And, you're going to give it your all no matter what. And these guys are, going to fight to the last lap. If there's a mathematical chance, they're going to be out there pushing as hard as they can.
And I agree with you. You're right. I mean, mathematically, if you've got a shot, you don't want to quit until the bitter end. And definitely fight because you just never know. And we've seen it in the past. As of right now, you see Jake Nichols right now. He is right there trying to go around some lap cars. That's where the danger point is for him, as he's up underneath James Thorndike right now. Nick Hunt getting a little squirrely. So as the leader, you're looking at that going, boy, that guy, I hope he hangs on to that machine. Don't want him to wreck. So there again, you got to be careful.
You definitely do, but these drivers are going to give him more room. But as I say that, their nose to tail, and Nick Hunt ain't giving an inch as he wants to stay on that lead lap.
Yep, he does, and James Thorndike does too, as they're actually battling door to door, and that actually would be a battle between those two machines. James Thorndike there and Nick Hunt. It looks like James Thorndike's going to take that position, and actually that's 10th place between those two machines. So again, Jake is starting to lap a few and you're right out there. You just never want to give up. You never, if you've got a mathematical shot out here, they definitely try. And you just got to say here, Jake is, Jake's doing what he has to do to try to win the championship. Delonte now up in second. He's doing what he has to do to get up there. And, David's there, Aries there, Mason's there, Bobby's there. It's a who's who. And I don't know. All these guys won't give up until the bitter end. I mean, it's almost like, we talk about, Mason last night. He knew what he had to do going into that race. He knew he was in an uphill battle going up against Cameron, going in, and he needed Cameron to have bad luck. Unfortunately, the bad luck came on his end in the form of, he just lost it coming out of turn, hit the wall earlier on. But he knew that going in, but he still didn't give up throughout the whole entire race. So very, very good on his end. And you just got to give your hats off to a lot of these drivers. It's been a heck of a season. It's been one for the ages here. These guys out here have definitely, it's been close and kind of unpredictable too. I guess that's the word we need to use.
Yeah, it really has. And as we're watching right now, we see the 1 of David Shutt and the 77 of Ariotti getting by the 21 of Delonte Ballard. And now, it might not seem much, but with the 77 passing the 21, that's for second place in the points. As those two drivers are only separated by 1 point. So we're going to have to stay focused on that battle all race long, because like I said, that's for second in points. And you see that 21 Delonte Ballard using that access road and going down pit road to get 4 fresh tires.
Now, you was talking about that's actually what you said, a second in points?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. So that is a battle there. You know, we're talking about, obviously, the championship a lot. We still got to keep in mind, you know, second, third, fourth. Who's sitting in fourth place as of right now?
Fourth place, we got Mason Wetzel. He's about 9 points behind Ariotti in third, so that's going to put him about 19 points behind Jake. And then we've got Cameron Hearn, which he's unfortunately out of the race. Mike Rominger, so that's going to shoot Mike Rominger up to fifth. And then we've got a tie for sixth with Bryce Sinesak, Tyler Sifford. Ninth, Bobby Cheney, which is 1 point behind Bryce and Tyler. And then Dylan Landry, which is 5 points. So we got some pretty close battles here with the Delonte Ballard, Ariotti, and then Tyler Sifford and Bryce Sinesak.
Okay, good deal, good deal. You know, like I said, I don't want to count out at 99. He could get up there. You know, obviously, if David and Ari get up there and start beating and banging on each other, or Delonte, well, you know, Delonte right now where he's sitting at, you know, well, Mason could jump up another spot, you know.
Well, Delonte just went down pit road and got 4 fresh tires, so he'll be back up there here in a few laps.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he doesn't want to get up there and get into trouble and get into any trouble with the car. So, you know, like I say, 99 Mason, he's not going to give up. He's definitely can pick up some spots. Bobby Cheney, like you said, Ariotti and those guys. So even though we're talking about the title here and the championship and whatnot, it's still, you know, we got second, third, and fourth place and fifth place, you know, battles that definitely all throughout the field that these guys can make up spots on. As we do see a battle on the track right now for the fourth place spot. Bobby Cheney looks on the inside. He's going to try to take that car as he dives there. He's got to be careful because he comes off the turn a little wiggly down the back stretch. He'll still go door to door with the 99 and Mason. As they go off into 3, can he make that pass down low? Looks like he's going to be able to make the clean pass.
Yeah, but that 99 is still going to be able to use that high line to get that momentum. And yeah, he's going to clear him right there. And we had a little battle between the 1 of David Shutt and the 77 of Ariotti, but they've cleared each other as well. But back to the points situation, too. Now, there's more points out there to be gained as well because only the top 12 make the chase. So there's that battle for the 13th position in points, which is the highest you can go if you didn't make the chase. Tyler Ducharme was in 13th, but like he's taken his car behind the wall. So you've got James Thorndike 14th, -1 point, and Nick Hunt -2 points out of 13th. So James and Nick, they're just separated by a position in points. So that's going to be another battle to watch for that 13th. Because during the Xfinity race, I was battling Marty Ray for the 13th position because I unfortunately didn't make the chase, but I was able to get that 13th position. So it doesn't matter what it's for or what it is, even if it's for last place. And these drivers are still going to go out there and give it their all because, you know, it's racing and it's just in your blood.
Yeah, no doubt. You're talking about James Thorndike, him and Nick Hunt back there in the 9th and 10th place spot. So you're talking about just separated by 1 point and 1 position, which is what that is. And obviously both of them, if they come out of here clean, no incidents, whatnot, they both get bonus points on that end. And right now it looks like James Thorndike's got the 1 up on that as he's ahead of old Nick Hunt in that 00. I always say it's the 1 hair flying out the wind. Race going pretty good, Abbott. Man, it's, we got 43 laps to go, lap 97 right now. And these guys pretty spread out because they had a couple green flag pit stops so far. Caution free. Last night's race, and actually we'll bring up a quick summary. You know, 0 cautions, 4 lead changes here tonight so far. But, you know, last night, well, we went caution-free the whole entire race. 4 laps to go, caution comes out, puts it at an end.
Yeah, it did. They went that whole race. But, hey, we've got a heck of a battle right now with the 1 of David Shutt and the 77 of Ariotti as the Ariotti gets right up on his quarter panel coming out of turn 2, and they're not giving each other an inch, and these two drivers are teammates.
Well, you know, they talked about teammates, SRA guys. I've heard them talk before. Even though they're teammates out there, they said, heck with it. We'll go out there, man, and knock each other's teeth out if we've got to. A win is a win. I've heard Bobby Cheney say that many a times. Man, look at Ariotti. Put that nose right up underneath the back bumper of the 1 machine. He could have did a bump and run right there. The problem is you don't want to do that about 180 mile an hour.
Yeah, you definitely don't, because that's going to ruin both of your races. But these two drivers are still nose to tail as they come into turn 3. They're using about the same line. 77 is going to look a little high. It's not going to be able to do. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum. To have to see if he's able to gain it back coming down the front straightaway.
Boy, they went high and wide right there, all the way, climbed up to the wall. They could get out there and touch that time, but on the inside, the 77 looks there, and racing like this is what gives you goosebumps. These guys, man, are definitely putting on a show for everybody as Ariatti's trying to make that pass. Can't get that car to hold down. I'll tell you what, Scott, you see these guys out here racing like that, man, to make you want to get behind the wheel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. These guys are having a blast out there. I can tell you that for sure. Not giving any inches, but they're given enough room to respect each other, and that's the kind of racing you always hope for.
And absolutely, and right now we've seen him close up on him very close. Every once in a while, they'll both look like they're taking the actual same line. And yeah, that's right, John. There's no tomorrow. You got to go for it. As here comes Delonte Ballard up underneath him. He's on newer tires. He had his pit stop earlier on, so he's obviously going to be able to go by those two. But the 1 and the 77, David Schutt and Ariatti, well, they both, man, are just trying to tear up each other's tire tracks right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're still battling as we've got Nick Hunt going down pit road to get his service done. But so we're going to see more and more of these drivers go down pit road. And look at the 77 Ariatti using everything he can on that high line going into 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, well, we got a good shot right there of his back. It was front bumpers they head off into the turn. He tried to go high. He's going to cross over and maybe try to go low. He's way down there, and that car pushes up. And let me tell you, you want to talk about skill driving. He saw that car was pushing up, and then almost it kicked loose coming out of the turn, but he saw that thing was pushing up the track and almost could have hit the rear quarter panel of the one, got out of it. Definitely good driver awareness on his part. Cost him a little bit of time on the track, but he definitely, man, instead of just knocking the back end of the one machine of David Schutt, let out of it, then got loose coming off the turn, but he definitely drove that thing in there.
He did, as the one of David Schutt's going to go down pit road. I really expected to see the 77 go down after that near mishap, but I can tell you as a driver, having that happen and that being so close within those drivers with those cars, your heart just drops because you're like, you're not sure if you're going to take him and yourself out or if you're going to be able to throttle it out and keep on going.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. You just got to be very, very careful right there. Scott, did you see that move there he did? I mean, that was really close.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, these guys, they're in the Cup Series for a reason, and you can see it, the way they race each other, and super, super close, but yeah, they're able to get through it all.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I would have probably took his back end off and put him in the wall, me in the wall, and killed everybody in the grandstand.
Oh, yeah. But we see the 73 of Jake Nichols. He's still out front. He's got a little bit of lap traffic. I believe it's number 7 of Tyler Sifford has went down pit road, so he's going to have fresher tires. But we're going to see how Jake's able to mitigate around this traffic.
He's only been out on 31 right now. A lot of these guys, we see them out there, they can go about 35 or so. So I think Jake's probably going to stay out maybe another 3 or 4 laps so that he's sure he can go the whole entire distance if it goes green flag the rest of the way. Tyler Sifford there in second. He's about 28 laps on his. And then you got Delonte Ballard on 14. Mason Weitzel there in fourth on 5. And then you've got David Schutt sitting in fifth. He just came back out of pits. Got a good battle here between Mike Rominger and Bryce Senesack as they're out there running around here.
And yeah, Joshua Medlock says, I don't think Audi is saving tires. And yeah, you know what, you're right. And it's funny to see because last week he was all about saving those tires, so he's using a completely different strategy this week.
He is. He understands, though. The problem was last week, and it's good you brought that up, Davis, because last week in the race, he dominated. And he flat dominated. The problem was late in the race, that one mistake cost him. And it cost him in getting the EOL penalty and putting him in the back there because he got in the back end of Tyler Ducharme late in the race. But he dominated that race last week. If it had came out of there with a win, would have put him in we would have had a very tight battle for the points here. Tonight, though, and I'm glad that's brought up, you was talking about, doesn't look like he's saving. Well, tonight he just can't afford to save. He's got to go. He's got to see what that car will do, as opposed to last week. He did pretty much, he dominated that race, and it's one mistake. We talked about it in the chase. That's all it takes is one mistake, and it can cost you.
Yeah, it really can. And the 73 of Jake Nichols, he's on pit road, and you see him just being very conservative. Doesn't try to press his luck or anything. He knows he's got a big lead, and all he's got to do is be careful when this championship is his. So he's being very, very conservative. We're on lap. See, we're on lap 109 right now, coming to 110. So we're gonna have about 31 laps to go here tonight, and that'll be the end of the race here, and the end of the season, and we'll crown a new champion.
No doubt about it. Puts Tyler Sifford out front, Mr. Popularity. He's in the Joe Mobile out there, running around. Him and the Deadpool guy. So hopefully we don't go out there and kill anybody together. And he brings that thing home in one piece with all the fenders on it. And we're gonna look for. He's probably gonna have a pit stop here pretty soon, though, as he's been out there for about 32 laps on the set of tires he's got. And last night he stayed out for a long time. He can get a caution, though. You know, like I say again, knock on wood, we've been caution free so far. But I know he'd probably be thinking in the back of his mind, man, can I get a caution right now? That would be very nice.
Oh, yeah, he would definitely love that if a caution came out. And, hey, you never know. It might happen, but if he's going to get one, he's going to need to get it pretty soon, because that 73 of Jake Nichols, he's already got his fresh tires, and he's coming in a hurry.
You know, what's it when here he comes down pit road? But what's impressing me the most is I see these guys coming out of the turns. Those cars look almost like they're coming out from under them. And these guys are able to hang on to them. I mean, just can't say enough of how they're driving these things out here.
Yeah, they really are, and it's just a show of their skill level and how great these drivers are in the Extreme Motorsports99.com Cup Series, because these drivers are the best of the best. We've got some iRacing Pro drivers in here, some PK Antifreeze drivers, and these drivers really know how to put on a show, and we've showcased that here at OSRN all season long, and you can ask any one of these fans and they'll tell you the same thing.
Well, you know, right there at the bottom, folks, you can kind of get an idea of kind of the skill of the iRating, the top 5 right there. Pretty much none of them are under 4,000. So just to give you an idea for new people out there, what that means is you've got a lot of skill out on the track when it comes to iRacing. Yeah, I know a lot of people say you can manipulate it, but it's very hard to manipulate 4,000 and 5,000, maybe 2,000, 3. Yeah, you can get up there on that, but if you start getting into 4 or 5, and obviously like Jake up in the 6s, yeah, you got there the hard way, which means you've raced it, earned it, and done a lot of practicing on the iRacing simulator.
Yeah, it is. I've been about 2,900 iRating for the last couple months, and I tell you, it's hard because I just can't get over that to 3,000. I'll get really close to it, then I'll have a bad race, and it'll put me back down to 2,900. So it's really, really hard to get an iRating that high, and you've got to have a lot of skill and know what you're doing in these cars. And hey, perfect example. Look at these drivers tonight.
And no doubt, like I say, top 5 there, definitely all skill based, definitely very, very good out here. Looking through the rest of this field, is you've got Bobby Chaney still sitting in the 6th spot. Mike Rominger there. He's trucking along in the 7th. Bryce Senesac there in 8th. Oh, he hadn't done this in a few, man. Let's go high and wide. That's right. Let's bring out the Blimpy cam. It's Blimpy. It gives you a good perspective of the track. It just shows you, man, just how far apart these guys are here on the track, because it's a good high and wide shot. And who doesn't like Blimpy? Hey, Scott, you like Blimpy?
I like Blimpy. I've been in the blimp most of the evening tonight.
Oh, there you go. See, he's already happy and been jolly good time, man, with Blimpy. And everybody likes Blimpy. It's just it's a good word. And Scott, I know you've heard it on the broadcast time and time again. I want to meet the person that can try to sound angry or stay angry and say Blimpy.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that before, but now that I have, yeah, that'd be pretty interesting to hear.
Absolutely. It's just one of those words, you know, there's certain words out there to bring out expressions. It's one of those words, and when I said it, I was like, you know what, it's just one of those words where it's a happy word. Blimpy. I mean, when you say it, I just couldn't imagine somebody trying to be angry or mad at somebody and going, Blimpy. I mean, it just don't sound right. It's Blimpy. Everybody loves Blimpy. And I know Dree out there in the chat, she loves the Blimpy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it gives you a really great perspective of this track and these drivers, and man, they are just still wiggling around and just trying to find it. And cause I've harped on it before, and y'all are probably getting tired of hearing it, but man, I'm just really surprised we have not had a caution out here tonight with as wicked loose and just wicked mean these cars are.
Absolutely. Don't have speed cam for this track, man. That's one of the tracks that I don't have a speed cam for, so that's why we threw up the Blimpie cam for them. Everybody likes Blimpie. And I love, man, seeing that. And you're right, Davis. I've watched these cars come out of the turns, and it is wow. And how much you pay for that, Joe? I'm a very good actor. It just still wouldn't sound right, Becky. Even if somebody tried, I believe if somebody tried to say angry, it would just, you couldn't help but to laugh at that person because just the way it.
As I'm watching here, that 21 Delonte Ballard, he's went down pit road to get 4 fresh tires, so he's on a completely different strategy than these other drivers. I believe that'll be put him 1 pit stop more than any of these other drivers have had, because I think they're going to be able to stay out and save enough fuel. So we're going to have to see if those 4 fresh tires that he has, he's able to overcome the deficit he's got and get back in the top 5 tonight.
You talking about Delonte?
Yeah, the 21 in the Slam Machine, Delonte Ballard.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I don't know why he went back out on pit road. He did go out there a little bit earlier.
Well, I've been watching him, and he's been on a different strategy than the other drivers. He's been hitting about 15, 20 laps before these other drivers have. So he's got a different plan here. So I have to see if it pays off.
I see what he's trying to do then. He's trying to get the fresh tires when everybody else, because everybody can make it all the way to the end. And I doubt Jake Nichols is going to come back in. So that was funny, Oliver. I got to admit, it says, Joe, I tried to say Blimpie mad today, but it made me run the subway. There you go. Well, at least either way, man, you got a sub out of the situation.
Oh, yeah, I tell you what a sub I like is Schlotzky's, man. They make some good old subs.
Well, I never heard of that, but that sounds like a German thing.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I know they make some really good subs. Right now we've got a battle between the 99 of Mason Wetzel and the 24 of Bobby Chaney, as Bobby Chaney just cleared him as they're going into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, they are, and he got around him right there. 24 did, and 21 there, Delonte, like I said, he's on those newer tires. He's closing in. He's going to try to do it. And Becky said, you work for a lawyer. I tell you, a lawyer, the next time when he got a client on the stand or something, man, to yell at him and go, look, did the Blimpie do it? Or was it something else? And I guarantee the whole courtroom's going to bust out laughing over that one. So, there you go.
Oh, yeah, you see that 21, just how good those fresh tires are helping him and how much faster he is than these other drivers. He's taking it low on the 24 of Bobby Chaney. And he's still 1 lap down, so he's got to get up to Jake and pass him. Then I think he's going to try to hope for a caution and see what can happen. As we've got about, I'd say, 18, 17 laps to go.
Yep, we got about 18 to go here. We're going to crown a champ here at Homestead, Miami for the Extreme Motorsports99.com Cup Series. Well, Joe, it sounds like it's funny. For the championship here, final race of the season, and it's been a very, very good one. Well, folks, I tell you what, if you're a bunch of late-nighters, if you like staying up late, which, I do, we're not done after this here at OSR Network. We've got another race going to be over on the teamvlr.com on Facebook, and we're going to call the Midnight Madness, VLR Midnight Madness, and we got some dirt track racing going to happen over there. We got the Legends machines at USA Speedway, and if you've never seen the Legend cars on dirt, well, I'll tell you, you want to talk about some comical and some wild style racing. I call them the clown cars of dirt, and they sound like a bunch of angry weed eaters out there when they get together going around the track, but boy, it brings about some good exciting racing and whatnot. So if you're up late and want to check it out, definitely check it out over there.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a fun race, and we've got a battle again here for second with the 1 of David Shutt and the 77 of Ariotti, as they are nose to tail. They've been about side by side for the past 2 or so laps, and just look at them how close they're running each other, using complete different lines. That one's using that high line, and that 77's using that low line right above that white line. So we're going to have to see if they're able to hold this on and see who's going to get the better of him. Look at that 21 of Delonte Ballard. He's got the fresher tires. He knows he's faster in them. Is he going to make it 3 wide here and get around him, or is he just going to lay back? I think he's going to try to take it 3 wide. As I say that, he lets off a little just on the low side of 1 and 2, and they're still battling. Delonte's like, let me through. I got fresher tires. I need to go.
Yeah, he needs to go to try, because time's running out on his plan that he's wanting to do, but he's going to take the high line here, and he's definitely going to try to take it 3 wide again. Like you said, Ariotti's on the inside, and they do coming out of 4. 3 wide, the man with the good tires, he made it past and said, y'all can have at it now, fellas. Just battle and knock each other out back there, and they will. Boy, I tell you what a battle up front as we're getting to the closing laps here of this one. And like I said, business is picking up, and it's picking up for second place, and it's about time for the run what you brung here, as obviously the last lap, that ends at 5 to go. Caution comes out. That's going to put an end to it. So right now, we have been caution-free.
Yeah, you say that, but if the 77 and 1 keep battling like they're doing, we might see a caution here, because these drivers, man, they're going for it all.
Yes, they are. It's hey, that's a position right there. And if I'm not mistaken, what we're talking about, there's actually Ariotti could put that thing in second in points right now, couldn't he?
Yeah, well, right now he is second in points. Well, he's third in points before this race started, but right now with the way Delonte Ballard's sitting, he's going to be second in points because he was only 1 point behind Delonte. And then we've got David Shudd. He's sitting in the 12th position. He's missed a race or two, so he's stuck down there in the 12th position. So right now he's running for pride.
Yeah, and he definitely would love to come out of here with a good finish, and just a good battle between those two. Like you said, yeah, caution-free, knock on wood. That's what I said. Well, last night went caution-free all the way with 4 to go, and then the caution came out and ended it. So you just never know until the end of the race here. We got 11 laps to go. Watching the battle here for second spot, but you gotta look at that man right there in the 73. He's done everything all season, and he's got 10 more times around this track. For one, to make history, break his title of most wins in a season with 11. 2, to become a 3-time champion in the Cup Series here. He's just got to hang on to that thing as he comes out of 4 for, like I said, 10 more laps here around this circuit here at Homestead for the final time there at the 73. And, I know he's going to be very happy, very nervous as Ariotti puts that thing in the wall.
As I'm looking back at it right here, yeah, he just got a little too close and looks like he just hit the wall, and it's never good.
No, crunched the whole side of the right side of it, pancaked it. That's going to leave the door open there for the 1 of David Shudd if he wants to come in. But, man, look at him climb up the track. Just can't get that car to hold down. I mean, that was actually a perfect shot of what we've been talking about the whole entire race. Now he's going to just drive it into the turn and let it drift up. Kind of glide up, but just a perfect shot of, man, that car just will not stay down coming out of the turns.
And you were talking about the dirt racing later tonight that you're going to be broadcasting. Well, these drivers right here, they're pulling slide jobs on each other left and right.
No doubt. And I'll tell you what, crossover move. Ariotti looks back on the inside. Can David Shudd hold him off? Or can Ariotti slide up there, man? He does. Crosses over the nose. We'll see if David Shudd makes a crossover. I mean, it's just a crisscross affair between these two right now, as they just will not give up an inch. David drives it hard into the wall, into the turn. The problem is he's going to drive it almost up into the wall. Every time he drives it in hard like that, Davis, he has to let up off the car. And what it does is it kills the momentum coming off the turn.
It does, and it's just heating those tires up. I think these drivers are just showing out and having some fun right now as they are battling tooth and nail as they're coming out of 2 right now. 77 Ariotti's got probably about a 4 or 5 car length lead on him. Going to have to see if the 1 of David Shutt can run him back down. Yeah,
this looks like he might have to run him down, maybe just cooling those tires a little bit. You were talking about it. He drove that thing in there very hard. He drives it in there one more time. And you're right, Tyler Sifford, he's trying to get in the top 7 there. He's back in the 8th place spot. Let's see real quick. Yeah, he's nowhere near around, nowhere near where Bryce Senesac is right now. Is Bryce Senesac sitting in the 7th place spot?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, they're. Well, I'm looking at it here, and then the time charts must be lined. Oh, because that's the qualifying time. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, it fools you every once in a while.
Yeah, it'll do that to you sometimes. But Ariotti is about let's say about 2/10 in front of David Shutt right now, and they're still battling. I think this battle right here is going to go on to the end of the race. Going to have to see who can come out in front.
Yeah, it's going to be a duel between this one on the second place here as Ariotti's trying to stay out front of him, and David Shutt's right there. And remember, Ari's got a little bit of damage, might be hindering him just a little bit. David's been able to try to do that. Now Ariotti goes down low. David goes up high here. We'll see what happens if he gets a momentum. And man, you can watch it on the inside. We're right on the inside with him. He is muscling around, just manhandling that steering wheel coming off the turn. So that kind of tells you right there that these things are just wicked loose coming off the turns.
Yeah, they really are. And you can really see it in the cockpit view, too, when they're coming off the exit. You can just see that, oh, we have a yellow out.
Wow, and I'm going to tell you what, that is just,
oh,
wow.
And Jake just barely avoids it. Wow, as the 99 of Mason Wetzel was around, and you see Jake just coming on that high side and just almost hits him.
Let's go back on the replay here and then see what happened. Mason's coming out of the turn, down out of turn 4, and he just loses it and tries to hang on to it. Almost did, but the car, oh, and Mike Rominger nowhere to go. Destroys the front end of the 9 machine. Mason stopped in the middle of the track, and wow, you're right. Boy, Jake just barely got by that one. But, man, the 99 just lost it coming out. And, folks, that's going to put an end to it right there. That will do it. Again, the whole race. Wow. It's just amazing. So,
it's a mirror image from last night. But, yeah, that 99 was battling it off of 4, and it took him that whole straightaway before he finally just couldn't hold enough, and it spun it around. And you want to talk about close, and want to talk about the 73 of Jake Nichols. The heart was probably in his throat right there, because I'm talking about inches from running his championship dreams.
It was, well, you don't know about it at this point ruining the championship dreams, but ruining his race and his hopes to actually make it 11. And, folks, he is going to make it 11. He's going to pull off the victory here tonight. But, man, I hate to see the 99. He had bad luck last night, bad luck here tonight. Just not what he wants to see here. Jake is going to win this one, folks. 3 to go. He's going to be the champion here at Extreme in the Cup Series. Man coming in second. Ariotti's going to hang on in the second. David Shutt's going to hang on there in third. Wow, what a race. Pretty much a mirror image of what happened last night, Davis. And Scott, went the whole entire race clean and green. And then right there with 4 and 5 to go, it's over with.
Yep, seems like they wanted to put on a show like we did and ended with a little drama.
Yeah, you always got to have, you got to love a little drama. I mean, it never hurt anything, as always. But, wow, you got to give it off to that guy, the 73 there, Jake Nichols. And I got to go ahead and I deleted the comment out there, but I'm going to go ahead and it's the last race, and don't know who you are, don't really care. But let me just say this. You obviously was not watching the same race we were watching out here, because if you say that anybody's got a grip hack, well, his grip hack wasn't working too well because he was fighting that car just like every other driver out there. And I got to ask the other 2 guys in the booth, Jake coming off those turns, he was sliding that car just as much as I saw Ari and David Shutt the whole entire race.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it right now. Richard Hammerbush, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead and finish watching that race right there, because losing it in every single corner. He fought everything he could to come out of here and win this championship, and to take anything away from him and to say that's unacceptable, and you need to get your eyes checked. Yeah,
no doubt about it, definitely. And it's just, anybody, man, that talks like that definitely just doesn't know the amount of skill that a lot of these drivers. I just showed what they had. All these drivers out here, very, very good, and it was just treacherous conditions. All these guys were just out there muscling and around this track, and just you just got to be smooth, and that's what it takes. But that man right there is going to win it, going to put it in victory lane, and is the champ here tonight. You can't take it away from him. Hey, he did it, and there'll be a lot of haters out there that won't like it, but you know what? Step up and beat him. That's my words of wisdom to anyone out there. If you know that they don't like the Jimmy Johnsons, a lot of people didn't like the Dale Earnhardts, didn't like the Richard Pettys of the days, but those guys, man, they know how to win. And when you're winning, well, guess what? You got a target on your back, and got a lot of naysayers out there.
Oh yeah, you definitely do. When you are able to come out here and win like that, you can have a lot of naysayers and a lot of haters, but hey, just keep winning and shutting them up, and hey, that's all you can do. And they can go ahead and troll on. But got a bunch of people, I guess, that came over here to the chat. But hey, Jake Nichols is your champion and your race winner. You can have Ariotti in second, David Shutt in third, Bobby Cheney fourth, Prostin in second, fifth, and you see the drivers right now coming to the back of Jake Nichols' bumper, giving him a little congratulations bump, and that man has earned it. You'll never meet a nicer guy, and it's an awesome sight to see right here, him winning here another championship. You see the 7 of Tyler Sifford, give him a little door up there to congratulate him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely, man. As always, man, it's good to see pulling off the victory tonight in the championship right here. That man in the 73. Well, I can't take anything away from all the other drivers here at Extreme Motorsports. You know, definitely just, you know, looking through the whole entire time. Whatever happened to sports. yeah, no doubt about it, John. But hey, it was just an all-around awesome season. You know, Scott, I gotta ask, man. You know, what'd you think about this race out here?
I mean, this was a perfect race. I mean, we had, you know, Jake dominate, of course, which he has done most of the season. But I mean, it's not an easy win. I mean, you saw the way that he was handling, and all these drivers were handling these cars off the corners, and awesome battles, awesome racing. This was a great race.
Yeah, no doubt about it, definitely. So, let's see if we can't bring up a couple of these guys up here. Ariotti, man, and Jake, and whatnot. We're watching Jake out there. He's gonna burn them down here. Let's see. It was David Shutt was in third, wasn't he?
Yes, sir, he was.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. All right, good deal. Let's bring him up here. Let's get a word in with old David Shutt here. Bring him up, and I'll let you get a talk in with him as our third place man here tonight. David Shutt.
Hey, David Shutt. This is David Richards up here in the OSR Network booth. Man, you want to talk about a show. I know you'd probably wanted to be up there and winning the race, but man, you couldn't ask for much more. These cars, we were watching them all night long. Y'all were battling them tooth and nail coming out of turn 2 and turn 4. We were watching the steering wheels. You had them left and right. Man, how were the track conditions out there?
They were pretty terrible. The car was all over the place. It was really slow. I didn't really enjoy how it drove, but it did make for some good racing. Fortunately, it wasn't for the win. Yeah, it was a good season. I think I got a win in there. Definitely, I felt like I was the second fastest to Nichols all season, so it was a good way to finish up SRA's streak here at Extreme Speed. So see what the future brings.
Hey man, we'll hope to see you out here next season too. But hey, those last 10 or 15 laps, we were watching you battle your teammate Ariotti. Y'all were pulling slide job after slide job, man. Y'all were putting on a show here for the fans.
Yeah, when you race with guys for upwards of 4 and 5 years, you know how they drive. So it's a lot of fun racing around the guys that we've raced with forever. So yep, it was a good season. Glad Nichols got the championship. Definitely was fastest all season.
Yeah, well, hey, congratulations again out there, David. Just awesome job watching you run out there all season. You definitely had a fast car. Seen you in many close battles for the lead, many close battles between your teammates in SRA, and you definitely know how to wheel one of these Cup cars around here. But before I let you go for the final time in the season, is there anyone out there you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the broadcasters here at Extreme Speed, all the admins, Rick Donathan. This will be the majority of us at SRA's final season here at Extreme. So wanted to send it off with a bang. Luckily we had a good showing here in our last season here, so it's been a lot of fun everybody involved over here, I'd like to say a big thanks for making it a blast.
Definitely hate to see you go, man, but definitely thank you for all the memories, and we'll hope to see you soon somewhere else on the track, and we'll keep looking out for you.
Yep, thanks a lot, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, that man right there, David Shut the Nightmare is what I call him, boy, and he's definitely he showed a lot of nightmare out there today, putting it in third place. If I can get him back down here in the cut series somewhere. Dadgummit. He went on his own. My bad, I was having a little trouble because my chat box is in the darn way here. Well, let's bring up the second place man. This time right now, that's actually going to be Ariotti. And he's actually, he had a shot there for the title. Let's bring up old Ariotti and let's get talking with him.
Hey Ariotti, this is Davis Richards up here in the OSR Network booth. Man, talked to you with you multiple times over the season. You've really put a show out here for these fans. You had a chance to win that championship, and it was a very close battle between you and Jake throughout the season, especially those last few races. And we were watching the drivers, and we just talked with David about the conditions, and they were wicked loose. How were you keeping that thing on the track and not turning it into that inside wall?
There were a few times where I thought, my race was going to end because coming out of the corner is just so loose. But that's kind of what you almost have to deal with here, unless, it's like cloudy or you're running in the late afternoon. It's always seems to be loose here at Homestead, so it's just kind of something you have to deal with. And when you drive these cars long enough, you kind of learn how to drive them loose. So yeah, everyone had to deal with it, and obviously Jake Nichols had to figure out how to deal with it better than everyone else on the track. So congrats to him. It was a fun season, and yeah, second is the first loser, so it is what it is. I really can't complain a whole lot because of the sheer amount of competition in this league. It's everyone. There are a lot of aggressive drivers, and I don't know. You definitely it's a different style here, and it definitely made me a lot more competitive. So it's been an awesome season, and it's been a lot of fun, to be honest.
Yeah, and you say that with the aggressive drivers and whatnot, and different leagues, and you're gonna learn how to race with different drivers. But being able to, I know that's helped you being able to learn how to race against them, and it's even made you step up your game. And we've seen that throughout the season. We've talked with you multiple times. You were able to finish second here in the points and second in the race, but before I move on to another subject as well, I want to talk to you about that battle with your teammate there, David Shutt. I was talking to him earlier, and I was watching all these slide job after slide job. Now, was that just for pride, or were y'all just having fun out there?
Oh no, that is how it is every week at SRA. So it doesn't matter if it's a teammate or if it's someone I've never raced with before. I mean, that's just kind of how competitive we are. Shutt's one of the guys where he's about as competitive as everyone else is here in this league. So you tend to know who you can run harder than some other guys, and Shutt's one of those guys you can, just about, and you saw what we were doing, you can do just about anything with him. So get up to his bumper, get right beside him. So it was just, it seemed like it was fun there, because when Bobby was, the three of us were kind of racing together, we were just laughing our butts off. But I was trying to get by him, I was trying to get away from him, but he kept on sliding me. He'd get close to the car, and I couldn't get around him coming off the corner. So it may have seemed like we were playing around, but trust me, we were definitely racing each other hard there for a position and on purpose.
We were thinking that y'all forgot you were on asphalt and y'all were on dirt, because that was definitely a great showcase of skill, and just gives these fans perspective of how competitive and how close each and every one of these drivers are in this league. And it's just an awesome job and an awesome showing. But before I let you go here, you got anyone else you want to thank?
Yeah, just all the drivers throughout the season. And congrats again to Nick. I went back. Maybe I think it was last week. I was kind of kicking myself about the penalty, because I'm not sure where I would have ended up tonight. But It is what it is. I'll take second place coming into this league. I'm running with you guys for the first time. It was fun. I got to thank you guys for putting this league in. It's so professionally run. The rules are set. It's awesome. So thank you guys for putting the league on, hosting, and again for the drivers. And it was a lot of fun.
Well, hey, we appreciate it, and like I said, it was awesome watching you run. Really hated to see you get that penalty at Chicago. It have made it for a really close championship battle, but nonetheless, like you said, being the first time in a new league and finishing second place is nothing to hang your hat on.
Jake is a really, really fast driver, so yeah, I'll definitely take it.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, we call him the Hitman. They brought him in from SRA. He came up here just a little bit short. One race, he had a little hiccup on there, Davis. That was last week, and kind of hurt him ever so bit. But I tell you, you just can't take anything away from this guy. And we're going to bring him up here, the night's winner. Jake Nichols, Joe White and Booty, got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Jake, I tell you, you came in here, you had about a 10-point lead, 10-point lead over the rest of the field. You knew what you had to do. Homestead's pretty much becoming kind of your backyard here. Homestead becoming Jake's home you kind of dominate this place. But tonight you made history at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. You won 11 races in a season. You broke your 10-race season there. But you also are now a 3-time champion in the Cup Series because you put it in victory lane here tonight at Homestead, and you are ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series champion. How's that feel?
Feels great. 3-time champ. It's funny because I was originally when I joined Extreme, I was gonna run the 3, but I moved to 73, which has been my number for a long time, and I just felt like that was right. And ironic that the original number I was gonna run was the amount of championships I have so far. Just gotta thank everyone at Extreme Motorsports 99 for making this happen, for having this league. I don't know my future here. It's day by day right now. Might not be back next season, not for sure, not 100% sure on that. Just all depends on the schedule or scheduling from here on out. But gotta thanks everyone here, from the drivers, admins, to Rick, league owner. It's been a blast, no matter what. We've had a lot of different guys step up and bring the competition level up for sure over the past few seasons. Thanks to everyone that's been a part of the broadcast, OSRN Network, Dre Broadcasting Network, everybody involved, all the fans. Again, couldn't broadcast these races without the people tuning in, so thank you for broadcasting and all the fans tuning in each and every week. And of course, just thanks to all the drivers. It's really fun. All my teammates, we have a blast during races. They wanted me to slow down tonight and have some fun. I just didn't want to risk it. I just wanted to win. I love Homestead, easily one of my favorite tracks, and I just run really well here. I just always figure it out and have a blast, especially with tonight being a push loose. We were a little tight, but at the same time we were on rail or on ice loose, and it was really fun for me, that's for sure.
You said a mouthful there, and definitely deserving. You got a little hole earlier on in the championship run here in the chase. You climbed out of it by basically just winning and dominating. And, I'm going to say it, be the first to say it, because like I say, future up in hand. I will be back in the broadcast booth here in another season or so. But, with that said, haters are going to hate. And when you're winning and when you're dominating, people, they're going to talk about you, this and that. But they can't take it away from you. And I've always said it, go and beat them. It's like the Jimmy Johnsons, the Jeff Gordons, the Dale Earnhardts, the Richard Pettys of the past. They were great, and everybody, wanted to be like them. And when they won a lot, well, guess what? They had big targets on their back. You win a lot out there, and you do a lot, and that's the thing. So wherever you go and whatever you decide on any league and season, keep that in mind that you'll do great things. Keep doing what you do, dominate and all. And like I say, you can't take away. You're the 3-time champ here in the Cup Series. You've won 11 here, done a lot. Whoever might could step up here at Extreme to break those, hey, go for it. But again, man, I tell you what, my hat's off to you pulling off the victory tonight here, Jake. Anybody out there you want to thank?
I've thanked pretty much everyone already. So just again with those OSR Network, thank you for all the broadcasting you've done for this league since I've joined. Even broadcast before OSR Network, thanks to them, and the ones for the future, Dre Broadcasting Network included, and as well as you coming back eventually soon. Again, everyone that tunes in, even tuning in when I'm not here next season, or if I'm not here next season, keep watching. These guys are there's some good people in here, great drivers, that's for sure. It might look different next season, who knows? The future is the future. We don't know what's to come. And then tomorrow could be a completely different day. But again, just thanks to everyone at Extreme Motorsports 99. It's been a fun ride, really, really fun ride each and every week. I wish we could have won the Xfinity title to go out with 2, but it just wasn't meant to be. And I'm glad that we won every chase race in the Cup other than Talladega. We were really trying to put on a show there for the fans and try to really make a mark. I think tonight was the 41st win. There's really no statistic to show that. If you'd know the situation, but too much to explain. But I know for sure that I got 41. Hopefully, I think I'll be back eventually. But just for the time being, we won't be back, most likely. Not 100%, but either way, thanks to everyone that's made this league what it is today. All my SRA JNR Alliance guys had a blast. I'm looking forward to SRA this season. That's Sundays and Mondays and eventually Wednesday nights. If you guys watching wants to tune into that on Max Speed TV, cheer us on. The Sim Speed Shop, Ford Fusion, can't forget Jason there. The Sim Speed Shop. If you need, if you're into sim racing and you need any kind of button boxes or anything, definitely hit him up. He's one of the best, and I really appreciate him jumping on board for these last 5 races here in Extreme. Well, 10 technically, counting both series. But again, thanks Joe and Davis and Scott, everyone here at Extreme.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely, man. Well said right there. We call him the Superman, and he lives up to that word. Folks, you got to look at the statistics, and they don't lie. 3 championships in the Cup Series, 11 wins in a season this season. He has definitely dominated in Superman fashion out there and wherever he goes or does. It is awesome to see, awesome to witness out there. One of the pro styles and the best of iRacing has to offer. Again, tonight's winner at Homestead, Miami, and the champ for ExtremeMotorsports99.com Cup Series, the Superman himself, Jake Nichols. All right, well, I'll tell you what, guys, right there, well said. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. What a season, and what a season it has been here in the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, and through all the series for that matter, as we get our final results as Jake Nichols puts it in victory lane for the 11th time here in the Cup Series, breaking his all-time record of wins in a season and putting it there, and also bringing home the title here in the Cup. Ariotti coming up in second place, just bouncing back, never give up, and he kept fighting there. David Shutt third, Bobby Cheney in fourth, Bryce Sendesack fifth, Tyler Sifford in sixth, Delonte Ballard seventh, Nick Hunt there in eighth, Mason Weitzel sticks up in the ninth, and Mike Rominger rounds out the 10th. If we look through the rest of it, man, I tell you, Davis, you got any final words on this season and race?
Man, it's just kind of bittersweet just watching it all come to an end. You got Jake Nichols with the championship, obviously, Ariotti in second, and Delonte Ballard in third in the final point standings. But yeah, it's just bittersweet. This was almost my second full season here at Extreme, broadcasting them. It feels like you grow up with these drivers. You watch them every single week. I mean, you know how they drive, you know their tendencies, and I'm gonna miss broadcasting and watching a lot of these drivers. And hopefully I'll be back here with Joe when Joe does return in another season or two. Hopefully I'll be back here, but you know, these drivers, they put on a show, just a close battle racing, and it's just amazing what these drivers are able to do behind the wheel, and I'm definitely going to miss it, and hopefully I'll be back with Joe in the booth sometime soon. But other than that, just thank you to all the fans watching and for listening to me ramble on for hours on end on Thursday nights.
No doubt about it. Well, Scott, I tell you what, first time up here in the booth, what'd you think about this final race here?
This was an awesome race to watch. You know, I typically watch the Cup races on Thursdays, you know, as a spectator. I watch your guys' broadcasts, and it's always fun to see. It's just like watching a real race. You get to know the drivers, and you guys do a great job broadcasting, and I'm just honored to be able to come up here and let the amateur come up here and pretend to be a broadcaster for an evening, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, man, I tell you what, I don't ever try to be a professional or anything. Just try to have fun up here in the booth, what I always tell them. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this whole entire season, and I appreciate all the viewers, all the folks out there, and everyone else who has supported, man, Online Sim Racing Network, because it has truly been a joyous ride here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, we will take a short little break as, you know, Dre will take over for next season, but we will be back on the helm here at Extreme in another about a season or so, as we've got some other things coming up. But, hey, again, I do appreciate all the admins, the owner, Rick. I do appreciate everything, the drivers, and like I say, the viewers, most importantly, out there that come in week and week out and watch these races. And my hat's off again to Jake Nichols, putting it in victory lane, winning the title here tonight in the Cup Series. So, folks, with that said, like I say, well, hey, we're going midnight racing tonight. TeamVLR.com on Facebook, VLR Midnight Madness. Check it out. Dirt. And until then, everyone, have a good night. Hope you enjoyed it.